that you are here. It is a beautiful, chilly day in Orlando. I just opened the window to get some fresh air. Oh my goodness, it is so nice. My son left the house with his hat on and he's like, Mom, I need gloves. I'm like, dude, where are you from? So as you're jumping on, let me know if you can hear me, you can see me. How is the homework going so far? Hey, Brandy. Hey, Jenny. Hey, Tracy. Hey, Elizabeth. Hey, Christy. Hey, Emma. Welcome, guys. How is your Tuesday going? How is day 2? How is everyone doing today? Beautiful day in Orlando. I am loving the cool weather. Oh my goodness. How's everyone doing with their ideal client homework? I'm excited to dive into that today. This is some good stuff, like foundational work when it comes to generating some rocking leads into your business. Hey, Rhonda. Awesome. Thank you, Christy. Hey, Lucy. Hey, Brandy. Hey, Sarah. Snowy day here. Yeah, there's no snow here. We just got sunshine. Oh, Emma's in Scotland. That's somewhere I want to go. My name Henderson, my maiden name Henderson is Scottish. Awesome. I hope you had a good vacay, Tracy Ann. Danielle says, loved the homework. Awesome. Hey, Sherry. 27 degrees in Colorado. Sarah says, I think my IC is still not specific enough. All right. We'll work on it. We will work on it for sure. So let's start with a little bit of housekeeping as everyone's jumping on. So just remember every day, same time, 1 o'clock Eastern, 12 o'clock Central. Friday, set aside a little bit of extra time. We're going to really create a game plan for monetizing your lead generation on Friday. So set aside about an hour on Friday. It's going to be freaking awesome. And make sure to put that on your calendar and commit to being here every single day. Let me see. Let me make sure I have the right homework pulled up. Yes, I do. Okay, let's start with a fun fact. So fun fact is I'm 6'1". So if you meet me in person, just be prepared. A lot of people meet me and they're like, I had no idea you were so tall. And I played volleyball for 10 years. So I got to play in China, in Italy. We actually won the Junior Olympics my senior year. I got a full ride to play at the University of Illinois. Was freaking awesome, and then got injured, but that's okay. It was all a part of God's plan, and I got to move to Africa and meet my husband. So it's all good. What's a fun fact about you? Come visit. I want to. I want to. Sarah, no worries. You can come back and catch the recording. Emma says, I think I found my superpower today. What is it? Share that with us. That's a huge breakthrough. So as you're having breakthroughs, dude, celebrate every single little one of, I think I found my superpower. I think I got some clarity on my ideal client. Share all those with us, because the more you celebrate that stuff, like the more just good stuff tends to happen, you know? Okay, a few things. Also, it's been fun chatting with some of you over text. If you haven't yet, text IMPACT. I put my number in the description of this video, 815-357-4020. And I'm just sending, today I sent out some extra bonus videos. So text IMPACT, chat with me. And then we only have 2 spots left for a private strategy call after the challenge is over. This is an insane offer, and I never do these, especially for such a cheap price point. Typically my hourly rate's $1,000 an hour. You get to jump on for a strategy call with me for just $97. So take advantage, steal one of those spots before they are gone. Emma says, all my kids were born in Hong Kong. That is pretty cool. Hey, Stephanie in Berlin. Sarah's climbed Mount Fuji. That's pretty awesome. Carrie is, I'm a fire-eating knitter. Sherry went ziplining for the first time in Mexico and I was over 60. That's cool. Brandy, the number is 815-357-4020, and it's in the description of this video. So today, day 2, we are talking all about your market, your ideal client. And so this is really, really important when it comes to generating new leads into your business, because you don't want to work with everybody. And when you don't have a lot of people to work with, you kind of think you want to work with everybody, but you don't. You want to get really, really specific on your targeting. And that's what's actually going to help attract the right people to you and repel the wrong people away from you. And you might be thinking, I don't want to repel anyone. Trust me, you do. You want to repel the people who are not meant to work with you. This is so, so, so important that we really dive into this today. And so a lot of times what happens is I see people, they're just kind of like shouting and trying to reach everybody. They end up reaching nobody. Their message doesn't resonate, and they end up just struggling to get people in the door. And then when they do get people in the door, it's not the right people. They're not qualified, or they're not meant to work with you. And so trust me, there is an abundance of the right people out there that want to work with you. They just need to find you, and they'll find you when you have your ideal client completely honed in. You have your messaging honed in, and you're actually speaking to that person. And so I've seen this all, like the power of understanding this, it's insane. So activates my group coaching program. I'll talk about that a little bit more throughout the program. And so this is my like awesome rockstar students. We have such a good quality people in that program, and they are the people that I adore and that I love to work with. And that's because I was very, very specific on who I wanted in the program and who I did not want in the program. So literally when I meet these girls, because with Activate comes a live retreat, when I meet these girls, it's like we're all yoga pants wearing, wine drinking, like to have fun, but build a freaking awesome business and change the world, because that's the messaging that I put out there, and that's the kind of person that I attract. And so you want to get really, really clear on this, and you're going to end up working with your dream clients who you adore and you love, love, love to work with. Okay. So really important. So I want you to think about 4 things that you need to be clear about when it comes to attracting your ideal client to you. And so I want you to think, what is one of their problems that you're solving? And what are the pain points that are associated with that problem? And so I want you to really dive deep here, and I want you to actually get inside of their head. And I want you to really think, like, what is keeping this person up at night? Like when they can't sleep, what are they saying to themselves? So like an example in the weight loss industry, for example, they wouldn't be saying, I just need to lose some weight, or I really need to get healthy. They might be laying in bed thinking, I am so gosh darn uncomfortable. I just don't want my husband to touch me because I'm just not comfortable at this weight right now. So like deep down inside, she's having like a worthiness issue because of her weight, and that's affecting the intimacy with her husband, right? And so I want you to think, like, what's keeping her up at night when it comes to your problem, and really get deep here. Like, get inside of her head and think, what would like she wouldn't even say these things out loud. And a lot of times what happens is your ideal client, I know this was me, it's you a few steps back. And so think about when you first started in your journey with whatever it is that your business is. A lot of times that's who your ideal client is. And so think about, what were your pain points? What were you struggling with? What were some of the objections around solving this problem? Like, it's not going to work for me. I don't have enough time to do that. And then what are their dreams and what are their desires? And I want you to really think about painting a picture for this person. What's their vision? They need to be able to see it, and they need to be able to feel it. And so what do they ultimately want? What is their vision, their dreams, their desires? What is that outcome? Because if they can't see themselves here, and this is huge, 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 and I hope you get this takeaway. They don't care about the process of like 5 modules, 2 coaching calls, yada yada. They just care, can you take me to my transformation? Like, what is that transformation going to be? Where am I going to be at the end of this process? And so you need to be able to paint that picture for them. Okay? So this is like basic, but I want you to really understand how powerful this is. So your homework for today is figuring out, who is your ideal client? Pain points, dreams, desires, objections. What are they doing or not doing right now that's aggravating their problem? And so again, with like the weight loss industry or whatever. So because I was in that space for like 7 years, right? And so something that they're doing or not doing, like they're not being consistent going to the gym, or maybe they're buying crappy food. This is one that like they would never say this out loud of, I threw away my son's candy in the garbage, or I threw away that birthday cake, but I end up going back to the garbage and actually eating it, right? That's something no one would ever say out loud, but that might be something that they're doing or not doing that's aggravating that problem. Like they just can't stop. They're addicted to sugar or whatever that might be. But instead of just saying you're addicted to sugar, paint that picture. What's that pain point? What's that problem actually look like? And then why is now the time to invest in a solution? Why is now their time? Why is now their moment? I mean, especially with right now, we're starting on a new year. This is when people are ready for a change. A lot of times they're reflecting on things haven't changed much in the past year. And if I want things to be different, I have to do something different. So why is now their time? Okay. So I actually have a really great article that I want to share with you guys, and I'm going to put this in the comment section. This is an article by Fast Company about Anthropologie. And so Anthropologie has never spent money in advertising, and they are very clear on who their ideal client is. And so I want you to read this article as extra credit and figure out, so it really, like, you're able to really get into the head of who Anthropologie is actually targeting and what they want, right? Okay, so I want you to read that article for extra credit. Good morning, Felicia. Emma says, my superpower, helping stay-at-home moms find the time and confidence to write their novel. Awesome. Awesome. Tracy Ann, my superpower, helping those with chronic illnesses develop natural health symptom management plans to improve daily living, decrease prescription use, and increase quality of life. Felicia says, as I sit here munching chips, no judgment. Sherry, Rachel, do you mean you would start a post that way, like the throwing candy away and going back to the garbage? Um, may it could be a blog post, but in that terms, I would actually be thinking of like a sales page or an email leading to maybe book a call or to join a webinar or something like that more specifically. Fun fact about Tracy Ann, I collect salt and pepper shakers in honor of my great grandma. I have over 150 sets, Carly. Holy moly. Okay, so tell me, who is your ideal client, and are you super specific with who that person is? And so I'll tell you mine so you can get just like some ideas spinning. So she's in her early 30s. She has one, maybe two kids. She loves to travel and explore and see the world and do mission trips. She's involved with her church. She's probably a stay-at-home mom, or she's in a job that she just really doesn't like and it's draining her soul and she can't take it anymore. And she is someone that really craves that freedom that entrepreneurship brings. She has a fire in her belly to do more than just the status quo. She wants to give back. She wants to make a greater impact in the world. And she is so hungry to just get the right coaching, get the right resources to take massive action and make that happen so she can provide for her family, so she can take her kids on those trips, so they can go on mission trips, so they can give back to their favorite charities. So for her, it's a lot more than just, I want to make money. It's, I want to make money so I can change the world. Okay? So I want you to think, who are you targeting? Amanda says, my ideal client is the woman that's struggling with infertility. She wants to be a mom so bad, but doesn't see a path there. I'll show her it's possible to become a mother through adoption. Now is her time because anything's possible with the right plan and support. Amazing. I love that. That is so niche. One of my clients actually works with moms post-adoption. And so I would connect with her. Her name's Kelly Belt, and you guys might be able to do some kind of collaboration. All right, talk to me. Come on, I want this to be interactive. Ask questions and tell me, who is your ideal client? And if you're feeling stuck here, how can we help you? Abby says, you just described me. I need to describe my clients just like you did. Write it down. Write it down. And it's okay if today you're still feeling stuck. A lot of what I've been able to come to realize with my ideal client has happened over time gradually. So nothing happens like boom. Some things have like, so I've had like instant downloads in my head where I'm just like, do this, and just like run with it. But a lot of times this is like an evolution. So it's okay. And your ideal client might change change, as you grow, as your business changes and develops too. So it's okay if this isn't perfect, set in stone. Again, I want you to take messy action and you're going to figure this out as you go, okay? Carrie says, ideal client is knitters 20 to 50 who are sick of boring knitting patterns. Okay. So the way you speak to a 20-year-old is a lot different than the way you would speak to a 50-year-old. So you might want to think about that too. Think about that as well. Courtney says this ideal client work is the best activity ever. Just down again. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. I love it. Courtney is one of our Activate students. And so I love that you're getting even more breakthroughs here. So cool. Emma, I have a query. So you're definitely not American. We don't see a query question. When it comes to pinning, when I write in the pin description, nothing shows when the pin is on the board. You put the pin description in the pin title. I put it in the pin title and the description. So now when you upload pins, you put them in the title and the description. Okay, Tracy Ann, want to help people who crave something more than a medley of prescriptions to fix the side effects of other prescriptions. Yes. Casey says, I'm feeling stuck because I'm not sure how to convince people my knitting patterns aren't too hard, or finding a way to reach even more knitters. So you shouldn't have to convince people anything. You should be able to kind of draw them in by sharing your content, sharing your journey, sharing different transformations. And I would just share like beginner stuff if that's who you want to attract. If you want to attract beginners, then create content of how to knit for beginners. Michelle says, just a fun fact, family mission trips have been our favorite. We've created so many memories. We've been on 4. Where have you been, Michelle? Tell me, tell me, tell me. I love it. Stephanie, mid 20 to 30 somethings who are ready to take on their own business and need a beautiful and efficient website to showcase all their hard work so they can focus on running their business and not worrying about the technical stuff. Okay. You might want to get even more niche down and more specific. What kind of a business? Because if you're doing like health coaches, that would be different, right? Sherry, so my ideal client could be different kinds of writers. Novelists might be 30, but memoir writers would probably be older. Do I need to totally niche down on one or the other? Could I address each at different times? I feel like it's niched down enough already. But if you want to get like super clear and your ideal client will just be like so attracted to you, I would pick one. And then you could eventually add, like, start with the memoir of how to write a memoir. And then you could add in like another course, for example, on how to write a novel. Sarah says, my ICA is teachers who are tired of spending their time and money on resources and lessons that their students are not engaged in, and neither are they. Teachers who want to teach students rather than lessons, who want to help address the mental health of the little brains in their classrooms. They want a better way, but need to know how to fit into the confines of our school system since we're responsible for grades and all the antiquated practice. Awesome. Tracy, and age for me is kind of irrelevant. It's the illness portion that creates the added class. Yeah, for sure. And you definitely don't have to be speaking to a certain age. For me, I find because I share a lot of like motherhood, early motherhood, that kind of stuff, I tend to attract that person because we just relate. So like on our Activate calls, a lot of times there's a kid on the call. But it, you know, for some people it doesn't matter. And we've also had like a grandma in Activate too, which is fine. You know, like what happens when you're clear on your ideal client is that you're going to attract the right people, and there might be a few outliers in there that still come, and that's okay. So she's making an impact as our company, and we're obviously tailored towards women, right? But that doesn't mean that I haven't helped men in our courses or privately. I still have men that come to me and they're like, can you help me? And I'm like, yeah, I can help you. But like, you're going to be very clear on who it is that you're targeting, but you might have a few other people that come to you, and that's okay. Dina says, I work with moms who are 35 to 55 and have adoptive and or special needs kiddos. They're in the thick of learning how to create a family that's predicated on loss and trauma. Awesome. Awesome. Wendy says, mine's broad and I don't know how to niche it. It's basically small local business owners who don't really get online stuff, but does old school advertising. They need more customers, but don't know how to get more. I don't think that's too broad. I think that's pretty niche down. So, and that I actually really like because there's not a lot of people that are teaching local business owners how to bring their businesses online. But it's smart and they need to. Giselle, if you're still lost from yesterday, just go back to yesterday, rewatch it. And it's okay, especially if some of the questions that people are asking, some of this, if you're newer, might be like, shoot, over your head. That's okay. I want you to take one thing, like your major breakthrough, and apply that, right? What's your big takeaway for today? Apply that. It's okay if you're not going to understand everything. Repetition is the mother of skill. So you can go back, watch these videos, go back, do the training again, right? Terry says, my ideal client, busy, mission driven mom, mid to high income with kids 7 to 12, who's feeling scattered and like life is passing her by. She wants more connection with her kids. She longs for meaning filled, unforgettable experiences with her kids that are good for them in the community. I like it. Michelle, for your mission trips, you've been to Kenya. I lived in Kenya for 6 months. I led a mission trip to Kenya. Amazing. Puerto Vallarta. Very cool. Kelly says, my ideal client is in her early 30s and she wants to stop drinking alcohol, but she's full of fear, self-doubt, which holds her back. She struggles with stress, anxiety, doesn't know how she'll cope without drinking. She doesn't really identify with it. In AA or regular 12-step programs, but doesn't know how to start creating her own path in recovery. Amazing. Amazing. Terry, what are the best methods you use to make sure your ideal client exists or enough of them talk to them? So for me, by doing market research, talking to a lot of people, but seeing are there Facebook groups where these people are hanging out in? Are they searching for stuff on Pinterest or on Google? You can go to Answer the Public and see if they're asking questions there. See what different forums there are for these people. See if there's podcasts out there about that topic. Nancy says, my ideal client is a health and well-being coach working in the mental health space. These clients may be male or female aged 40 to 55. So success in their corporate career and are recognized experts in their field. They have a young teenage family with a partner and spouse also working full-time. They've set up their own coaching business or consultancy, perhaps semi-retired, developing a portfolio career. They are time poor, find self-employment a far different challenge from the corporate world. They're used to having a PA and Mrs. Support, but are not aware of the VA sector and that they can access flexible VA assistance. Very nice. Kimberly, hey pretty lady. My ideal client is health conscious female leaders over 40 who work in corporate, want to take steps today that will keep them healthy and active as they age. Amazing. I love it. Danielle, ideal client, determined women who are startup virtual business owners who want to be held to a higher standard, incorporating the fundamentals of leadership in business. Very cool. Amanda, how do you determine the right keywords for Pinterest? Is the same as Google? Pretty similar. You just start typing and seeing what autofills on the platform. What questions do you have? I love seeing all your ideal clients. This is great. Hit me up with your questions, and I'm going to pick another winner today for a $25 gift card to Amazon. Oh, Kelly, Emma is your ICA. Look, she just resonated with what you wrote. There's power in that specificity. Danielle says, my client is frustrated, annoyed, worn out, small businesses who cannot figure out the social media thing are on the brink of throwing their laptop phone across the room. What kind of small business? Because there's a lot of small businesses that are frustrated. So is it the solopreneur that's like a solopreneur health coach, you know, brick and mortar business, trying to figure it out? Oh, you posted a lot more. Okay, that's really loud. I'm not gonna read that whole thing. Da 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 da. Got it. Amanda, do you create multiple pins to the same content? Heck yeah. If you're gonna spend that much time creating content, you better promote it multiple times. So at least 5 to 7 different pins. Michelle, what platform do you use most to tell your clients that you are what they need? Probably our blog. That's kind of where everything starts with us, is our blog. And that's where we can really develop the relationship, that know, like, and trust factor. Um, and that's where I have most of my clients start too, is with a blog. And hear me, you don't need to be a writer to do this. It could be like you're creating video content that you're putting on your blog, or audio content that you're putting on your blog. But that's where you can really control the experience, add the relationship, get them on your email list. So that's my favorite platform for sure. Um, Next would be our podcast, but I tell most of my clients, like, don't start a podcast yet. You're not ready, um, until like they're several months in. So now we have a couple of our clients that are crushing it with their podcast, but it just depends on the person, and because there's no one size fits all approach to doing this, because some people are really great on audio, some people are really great on video, some people hate writing, some people are great at writing. So it just kind of depends on the person as well. Taryn says, I have a hard time coming up with objections because most of them are things that are out of my control. So, what would be an example of that, Taryn? Catherine, what ratio do you use of pinning your content versus other people's on Pinterest? Depends on how much content you have. In the beginning, it's typically 80% other people's content, 20% yours. And then as you have more content, you can switch it. So it's like 80% yours, 20% other people. Emma says, my ICA is a stay-at-home mom who wants to write but feels unable to commit the time. She believes she has to do it every day for large chunks of time. This is overwhelming. She doesn't know where to start. As a result, she puts it off and finds excuses not to get started. The longer she leaves it, the more disappointed in herself she becomes, the more intangible the goal feels. Now is the time to start because it'll never be the perfect time. Life will always be busy. She'll always have other commitments. Heck yeah. Tracy, how would you merge the coach aspect with the physical product aspect, or would you separate and run individually? I'm a botanical formulator for health products and personal care products with unique health boosts. Don't know if they should be merged or separate. I would start a personal brand where you promote your product line. Someone that does this really well is Angie Lee. You can follow her on Instagram. She has her own CBD line. She doesn't do private coaching, but she does like coaching, has programs and that kind of thing. So everything kind of falls under her brand, but they also have a separate brand for their CBD line. You're welcome, Sarah. Amanda, do you only pin related to your content? Or do you pin other things that your ICA would pin to? I would pin things that would add value to my ICA. So it doesn't have to be just my content. If it's something about branding that I think would add value to her, I will pin it for sure. What other questions do you have? And Michelle Osborne won $25 to Amazon. So, Michelle, can you send me a message, please, with your email? And I will get that to you. Yay! Also, your ICA's interests. I don't pin necessarily their interests. It's more like things that they're searching for, problems that they have that they want to solve related to what I have to offer. So, like, my ICA is interested in wine, but I'm not pinning wine stuff. It's been a long time since I've had wine. At my mastermind, I was smelling my friend's glass. I was like, oh, oh. And if you didn't know, I'm pregnant. That's why. You're welcome, Tracy. Catherine, I don't really understand repinning. Do you have the same pin posted several times on the same board? You can pin it to multiple boards. So you can pin it to your blog post board and then repin it to another relevant board. Or you see somebody else's pin in the feed and you can pin that, repin it to one of your boards. Repinning and resharing, same thing. It's just kind of different terminology that people would use. So it's kind of like you could say like a lead magnet and opt-in, like a million words for the same thing. Yay. What other questions do you have? Anything. Anything else you need support with? No such thing as a stupid question. Tomorrow we are talking about your lead magnet, by the way. This is so important. So I'm excited to dive into that. Anything else before I let you go? All right, you guys are getting quiet. So I'm going to hop off, let you guys finish up your homework. I'll see you tomorrow, same time, and we'll be talking all about your lead magnet. So I will see you there. Bye.